Red Dead Redemption 2 data miners find Switch Pro Controller icon in the game's files. Will, what does this mean?
Gasp!
There's a picture. That's the whole story. All right, so according to Destructoid, Nani? Now that Red Dead Redemption 2 is on PC, is that enough? Possibly not. Rockstar data miner Tez managed to locate a new wrinkle. A Nintendo Switch Pro Controller texture in Red Dead Redemption 2's texture file. It's very, very faint and transparent, but it's there. Now there's a reasonable explanation for this. Steam often provides controller fundamentals for many devices, and future patch could add native Switch Pro controller support. It's the most likely reality. The odds of a full-on Red Dead Redemption 2 port on Switch are probably pretty low at this point. Rockstar hasn't really worked with the system outside of small-time projects like the LA Noire Switch version, but its parent company Take-Two has found greater success and could eventually put the squeeze on them. Who knows? With The Witcher 3 working its magic on Switch, it could be possible with some massive visual and performance downgrades. And there's a picture of the Pro Controller. Now, this is data mined from the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very obviously not a Joy-Con grip.
Right.
And if you're gonna put a controller image in the game to show the controller for, I guess, the controller settings, or, you know, sometimes they just put it in the corner.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, it's always the Joy-Con grip, right?
Not necessarily.
All right, what game doesn't have the Joy-Con grip?
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know I've seen like the Pro Controller in like the menu options on some games.
Yeah, but like usually there's like an icon,
right,
like in the corner or somewhere in like a menu, and it's almost always the Joy-Con grip because that's what people are most likely going to have. Maybe if you have a Pro Controller, it'll
switch to the Pro
Controller, but why wouldn't the Joy-Con grip be in the files also?
Right.
Because most people are going to have the Joy-Con grip and be playing it with the Joy-Con grip.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
If they found this image on the PC, I feel like more people are going to be playing PC games with the Switch Pro Controller if they're going to use that Nintendo controller than they would Joy-Con grip. Because, you know, the Switch Pro Controller is more like a regular controller that you can connect to a PC easily, and people do that. Whereas the Joy-Con grip is technically two controllers mashed together.
That's the answer. The answer is that this is just in case you want to plug a Pro Controller into your PC and play the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 with a Pro Controller. Right. I don't think this has anything to do with a Switch port of Red Dead Redemption 2. No, however, I'm not ruling out a Switch port of Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that's a possibility in the future.
I am ruling it out.
You don't think it would ever happen?
Not anytime soon.
No, I don't think it would happen anytime soon either.
The launch of Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC didn't go very well. It was very buggy and it crashed a lot for many people. The game is huge and graphically intensive. So getting it to run on the Switch would take a lot of time and effort. Also, too, Rockstar, these past few generations, have never launched like one of their big titles on a Nintendo platform, along with like, you know, PlayStation and Xbox and PC even. Mm-hmm. Wii U and Switch didn't get a Grand Theft Auto game. They didn't get the first Red Dead. They didn't get the Warriors. They didn't get the Wii got Bully, but that was a port of the PS2 version. Let's see. The Wii got Manhunt 2, but again, that was a port of the PS2 version. So yeah, they typically don't do their most recent hit on Nintendo platforms like so soon after like the Sony and the Microsoft platforms.
But I think you have stuff. I think that there's a lot happening that could change their mind about that. Like,
I'm sure there is.
Grand Theft Auto is always Grand Theft Auto 5 is always in the top 10 best-selling games every single month, and it came out in freaking what 2015? No,
but that's another
2013.
thing. Grand Theft Auto 5 could easily get put on the Switch, and it hasn't yet.
Yeah.
So if they're not willing to put that game, which they put on every major platform, they're not willing to put that on the Switch. They're probably not willing to put their most recent title, their most recent and biggest hit, on the Switch.
I think one of the biggest reasons they would abstain from putting Grand Theft Auto on the Switch is that the online is trash.
Right.
And Grand Theft Auto Online is why most people are still buying that game.
Yeah.
I think that you have stuff like The Witcher coming out on the Switch, and that proves that you could basically put freaking anything on the Switch.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of games that Doom,
but also The Witcher is doing
Mortal Kombat. Even
I don't know if the Switch port of The Witcher is doing very well, but because of the show, the whole game is selling like an insane amount, and it hasn't even been re-released anywhere except for the Switch.
Right.
You know, it's just the version that came out years ago is skyrocketing to the top of the charts because of the show. I think people who play a game like that, they would want to play something like Red Dead Redemption. Mm-hmm. I think that if they put Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch, it would sell a whole butt ton.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will, but I don't think that it's going to happen it might not even happen this generation, honestly. If they don't put GTA 5 on the Switch, you're not going to see Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch.
That's the thing, is that Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't as focused as online as Grand Theft Auto was.
Right.
So that's why I think Red Dead Redemption has more of a shot to be on the Switch than Grand Theft Auto does. But no, you're right that Rockstar doesn't really care. They put LA Noire down as a test, and who knows what they're going to do with that information.
Yeah.
But I'm not ruling it out.